Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Goal Slayer Show. I am your host, Rosa Barrigate. And today we're going to talk about an important topic. Let me make sure that my audio is good. Okay, now it should be really good. So let me tell you a little bit about today's topic. So today, hey Tavia, how are you? We're going to have a great topic today. Our guest speaker is having some technical difficulties trying to log in, but she should be here soon. But let me start by saying that this is the Goal Slayer Show. If you haven't been here before, welcome. We're going to have a special guest today. Hopefully she can log in. A little bit about me. If this is your first time seeing me here live, my name is Rosa Barrigate. I am an online business coach for virtual assistants. I'm also the owner of Daily Task, which is a virtual assistant agency that helps entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and small businesses take care of the daily task. If you would like to learn more about me and what I do, you can check out my website here, rosabarrigate.com. It's my full name.com. Pretty easy. So today we wanted to bring this topic, which is really important. It's really important to me. Oh, let me see what Tavia says. Great, thank you guys. I can hear you. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear me, because sometimes people can't hear me and I can keep going on and on and on. People know I'm a talker. Those that know me know that I'm a talker. So let me pull this slide up. So we got to talk today about self-care, right? And our guest, if she's able to log in, hopefully, I'm praying, because I really didn't have something ready. We're going to talk a little deeper about some techniques that she knows on how to take care of yourself. But for now, when she gets here, let's talk about self-care, right? So when I say let's talk about self-care, I'm really actually referring to let's talk about self-care this quarantine, right? So how can you practice self-care during the quarantine? So there's a lot of things that you can do just because you're home. I'm not going to say stuck with your partner or with your kids, because, we're not stuck with them, but we're spending a lot more time than what we usually do with our families. And on top of that, many of us still have to work from home at the same time, right? So in one of my lives last week, I was talking about that it's hard for people that have young children that don't quite understand why mom or dad is actually home, and they're telling you, hold on, wait, or step outside, or let me close the door because I'm working. They really can't comprehend how you're there. They can physically see you, but you're really not there because you're working. You're not available because you're working. So we're going to talk about a little bit about self-care, like practicing self-care during the quarantine. So we're going to give you a couple of tips that, maybe can help you. If none of the tips resonate with you, that's fine, but just try to create some that do resonate with you and your lifestyle, right? So tip number one, make time to unwind. So make time for projects that make you happy, right? Spend time reading if you like reading, writing in a journal if you like doing that. And if you don't like those things, I suggest that you try it at least once to know the feeling, like what do you get out of it? And you actually might surprise yourself and you actually will like it. Try decluttering. Like when I when I don't have work to do, when I don't have my show to something related to my show to work on, I start decluttering my closet. Is it something fun that I enjoy doing? Not really. I really don't like it, but I start doing it because it keeps my mind busy, and it's almost like a mental activity, even though it's really a physical activity. So decluttering, and actually feel better once things are clear and I can find things better, things look more organized. I feel like when my environment and my personal space is organized, something in my brain feels a little more decluttered, if that makes sense. So another thing is exercise to promote health, right? So with the quarantine, I think all the gyms are closed. So walk around your block for 20 minutes. For some of you, that might be a little too much. Walk around the block for 10 minutes. And for some of us, 20 minutes might not be enough. Walk around the block for 40 minutes, an hour, as much as you can. And try to do that at least 3 times a week, right? That really helps with your, your self-esteem. It helps with your immune system, and it keeps you healthy and active and moving. Let's see. So try to do any kind of exercise that can help boost and support your immune system. It's also a great tool for managing anxiety for those of us that have anxiety, and a stress reliever, and it will actually help you pass time so you're not stuck and feel like you're trapped in the house, right? And tip number 3, let me just make sure that Chauvet is not here yet. Tip number 3, be mindful to support your immune system, right? So mindfulness, which can be defined as the present moment, right? Being aware, has been growing in numerous ways in different industries, right? More and more throughout the years. And now is a great time to try it out for yourself if you never tried practicing mindfulness, right? Just 5 minutes of meditation each day can actually help you reset your mind and your perspective. So this little slide that I pull up here, hi, Sad. Thanks for joining us. Tavia said, wish I could get my mind to like cleaning. Girl, you and I both, but actually I do it. And I find that I do most decluttering and cleaning when I have a little bit of anxiety. When I'm upset, I tend to do a lot of that. When I'm feeling, how do people call it? When I'm in my feelings about anything or anybody, I find that I tend to, that's my coping mechanism, to clean and to cook, right? Even if I don't eat the food, because when I'm feeling like that, I don't get hungry, but it's almost like that's my coping skills, cleaning and cooking. So this little self-care plan, there's a lot of options for self-care, right? So this little self-care plan, I have used it with some of my clients. I didn't create this, but I created something similar based on this one. So self-care is just the act of taking care of yourself, the act of making you a priority. So I am sure, I think some guys, let me take a pause here, because I see some comments here and I don't want to be rude. People like, Rosa, I said something. I am looking at my laptop, right? So I'm going live in my Facebook page, and I'm going live in my Facebook business page. So let's see the comments from the Facebook, my personal page. Let's see, we got 2 comments. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Sandra, darling, thanks for joining us. Okay, so back to this. So Tavia says, cook, yes. All kinds of great dishes came from low days. Yes, me too. So back to the self-care plan, right? So self-care is the act of making yourself a priority, putting yourself first. So think about that analogy, right? When you are in an airplane, if you ever travel, and even if you've never traveled in a plane, think about movies that you have watched, right? When the plane is about to take off, right? And they're starting to pull out of the gate, the runway. They will say the flight attendant gets in the middle. There's a couple of flight attendants. They get in the middle of the, I don't know what you call it, the hallway of the plane. And they start saying to you, right? In the case the cabin loses pressure, you're going to pull, they show you this little mask that pops up from your overhead. It's going to pop up or pop out, and you put it over your head, and you put your mask on first before you help others, right? So that same analogy applies to self-care, right? You have to fill your cup first. If you think about self-care, think about self-care of a cup, right? And the water in the cup is everything you do for other people, right? From cooking for your family, to driving your kids around, to helping that friend with that resume, to helping your employer, or, if somebody calls out, and pitching in, doing all those things that we do on a daily basis that we don't even think about, like, oh, we're doing this for people, because we naturally do, especially for our family and our kids, right? Oh, and she's here. So we're gonna get started in a few minutes. Praise the Lord. Okay, so before I get, I can see her laughing. You guys can see her, yeah, but I can see her laughing. So before we get into our guest speaker, let me just wrap this up, right? Well, we're not gonna wrap it up, but I'm gonna wrap up my part. So think of self-care as a cup, right? As your cup. And the water inside your cup is all those amazing things that you do on a daily basis for other people, and that some things here and there, some drops here and there are for yourself. So if you want to help others, you need to pour, right? If you're in the desert and somebody's like, give me a cup of water, and your cup is empty, how are you going to help them? So think about self-care like that, right? Your cup needs to be full in order for you to help others, and in order to be, more available, more present with other people. So make sure your cup is full. And our next guest, I'm going to introduce her. She's going to help you start with some simple techniques and tools and exercise that you can do at home yourself to practice self-care during this quarantine. And even when there's no quarantine, you practice self-care anytime, anywhere. So let me pull up her picture, guys. Bear with me, because I was getting too excited about all this. Okay, so let me pull her picture up, and I'm gonna give you the whole screen because she deserves the whole screen. So this is our next guest. Let me just pull up her bio. So, okay, Chauvet, oh my God, I hope I'm saying your name right, but Chauvet Bishop. She is a massage therapist, a Reiki practitioner. She's a poet and host of Open Room and Nuyorican Poets Cafe. She received her massage therapy training from the highly acclaimed Swedish Institute. She began practicing in 2011. Since graduating from the Swedish Institute, Chauvet gained experience in spas, wellness centers, and gyms. She also brought her massage skills to businesses, to parties, and backstage for various performances around New York City. Chauvet currently, pre-quarantine, focuses on in-home massage and Reiki and organizing wellness spaces for community events and Audre Lorde Project. And I hope I got all that right.
Hey.
So help me welcome Chauvet to the show. Hi, darling. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for trying until you got in.
Yes, I was gonna be relentless. You met my mother first. So if you know anything about my mama, you know that like we don't like to give up. So her name on Instagram is Nathan's mom, but she was my mom second, my sister's mom first. So, middle child syndrome.
That's her putting a whole bunch of hearts right now. So
yes, hi mommy.
She's over here supporting her.
Yes.
Awesome.
So yes, my name is Chauvet. I currently am in Brooklyn. So that's like the epicenter of where Corona is happening. So I've been, I have my like 2-3 places that I go, like Lysol, gloves, mask, whole nine. Like this is my new reality, which is very different because I touch people for a living. So it's like, oh my gosh. Like I don't even know how to deal. I know how to deal because that's what I'm going to show you. But I had to figure it out, and it's also whenever you're doing massages, because our bodies are going through a lot of stress right now. Stress actually lowers your immune system. So this self-care, Audre Lorde from Audre Lorde Project, who it was named after, she was a poet. She said that self-care is a revolutionary act, and it is. So I'm going to show y'all a few ways to be revolutionary that isn't necessarily fighting in the streets. We can do that later. That's just where I'm at. New York does some stuff to you. So I'm
before we
gonna
get started,
show y'all.
Can you tell us a little bit of how you got started doing this work?
Well, you know how it's like when you're supposed to do something, life won't let you do nothing else but that. So I started off, when you're little, there's always like grandma, auntie, somebody who's like, hey, you grab the lotion and rub it. Like I was the hey you every time because, I was blessed with the gift of touch early in life, but that's also very heavily on my mom's side. So there's people who are like midwives who like one woman, Grandma Emily, she birthed like her grandchildren, her great grandchildren, and I think a few great great grands. Like this woman lived to 104. And
Oh,
like
wow.
if you look in our family's birth certificates,
Mm-hmm.
she's the midwife that signed off on most of them. After up to a certain generation. So I come from that kind of talent, that gift. So it was like, okay, you can go and have your fun. You can, try to move to, I was in Miami for a little bit. I did City Year, which is a nonprofit
Mm-hmm.
that works with kids. So, kids are also very important because they literally are our future.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went from Miami, came to New York. I was also working for Starbucks, and I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. So one way that I relieve stress was actually giving other people, you can imagine, baristas, we are stressed, we are in pain. Like that coffee and a smile cost a lot physically. So it does. Listen, it was to the point where I had to do 4 shots of espresso over ice before I started a shift.
Oh my God.
Like I seriously had a manager that as soon as I came in, she'd be like, "Excuse me, have you had your coffee yet?" No, get off my floor before you have your coffee. No, we're not doing an uncaffeinated Chauvet. So
She's like, I already know how you behave when you're caffeinated versus when you're not.
exactly, but you have to appreciate people like that, like
Mhm.
I would have, well, you didn't have your coffee manager. Like, okay, so we both got to deal with me now. But I went from that to Swedish Institute, which was literally in walking distance from the Starbucks that I was working at. So I made like a really good close group of friends. So Swedish was just like the place to answer because everybody's like, oh, you should go to school for this. You should go to school for this. So I'm like, all right, well, Starbucks ain't it. So I went to school for it. And yeah, I've
And ever since
been
then,
doing
you're.
it ever since.
Mhm. And how do you, before we get into the technique, this is the last question. How do you practice self care?
I practice self-care by like I finally have a home where I can have a nice Epsom salt bath. So that is helpful every once in a while. I like to walk like because this is a very pedestrian city, um, which is also why things are able to spread. But whatever. Like, so
Yeah,
because I'm
crowded.
like usually yeah, so because I'm always walking around, like, I'm able to like kind of walk and meditate at the same time. Um, like good food. I have friends. I have I have some really good friends within like the healing community, the poetry community, like the queer Black community up here. Like everybody, like everywhere I've gone, there's been somewhere that's like you got to have those people that are chosen family.
You
So
you
like
you have built
my
your tribe, right?
yeah,
We all
like
need
you
that.
have
That's part of
to.
self care. I often tell my clients like surrounding yourself with people that are going to uplift you, especially when you need it the most, that are not always going to tell
Yeah.
you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. It makes a big difference when it comes to like, right? Staying sane.
Yes. Yes, I definitely have those friends that are like, okay, I love you. I'm gonna feed you while I tell you exactly what it is. Like, okay, I didn't want to hear that, but I needed it. And like, I'm definitely one of those people that like I kind of need a fire under me sometimes. And I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna go take over the world because you made me mad, and I'm gonna show you that you're wrong. Um, so
That's
yeah,
how
they
it
know this. They know
is.
this. They're like, oh no, she's getting too comfortable. Like, let's go.
Oh, Gigi says, "Hey, fellow City Year alumni. Oh, I did just
Hey.
that in my day off today. Cleaned out and organized my dining room closet." Um, Tavia says, "Love you, but you know that."
You got me. Love you too, but you know that.
And she said, "Viva la revolución." Oh, I'm saying it in Spanish. Viva la revolución. Viva la revolution. She said.
Asada.
Um,
Yep.
oh, do you guys speak Spanish?
She speaks way more than me. I can understand enough. But yeah, it takes me a minute. But my mother is amazing and speaks quite a few languages. So
Oh
yeah.
wow. I gotta practice
Like
some
she's definitely American, but I'm like American to the point like I know English and scraps of other languages.
more. Alrighty, so let's get into it. So today you're gonna be sharing self massage and light stretching techniques, right? And this it's like a simple
Yeah.
tutorial that people can do at home, and you're gonna
Mhm.
show us maybe some tools that people can find in their house that they can
Yeah.
use. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna remove myself from the live, but I'll be right here and I'll come back as soon as you're done.
Okay. All right. So I am going to show you two tools before we start. And I know a lot of us have like the sock drawer that has everything. So these are very clean old socks. I have two different lengths. I have a longer one and I have a shorter one, doesn't really matter. So one, we're going to tie up and we're going to tie it twice. Leave the open end, the longer end. All right, make a nice little ball and you're going to stuff this one into the toe of the longer one. I'm going to use that later. And I know a lot of people like suggest foam rollers and stuff. They're very helpful, but if you don't have or don't feel like buying a foam roller, what you can use, it can be, I'm going to use a can and a t-shirt. You can use like a jar, you can use like one of those metal water bottles. Like there's all kinds of stuff. Like as long as it's fabric and like a nice cylinder that's sturdy. It has to be sturdy. You're going to roll this up in the t-shirt. And we'll come back to this later too. But right now we're going to kind of warm up a little bit. So we're going to warm up our hands and our wrists. So just going to clasp your hands together. Get your wrists mobile. Just kind of grab and pull on your hands. And we're going to massage our hands. So when you're grabbing, what I want you to do is don't think so much of like clenching your hand as like pushing up. So you're going to get more pressure from the heel of your hand. So you're going to grab, you're still going to do, pressure from your fingers, but more like this, kind of like you're kneading bread, kind of like if throw back to kindergarten days, or maybe you reverted back to Play-Doh, that's fine. And this area right here, if you want to pinch, I know it's going to hurt a lot of people, but this area, because we're doing so much texting, so like we're constantly doing something with our thumbs. And we're just going to pull and circle with our fingers. Loosen them up. If you get a pop, great. I definitely am getting a few. Because again, we've been doing a lot of typing, texting. I know people have been working from home or people are essential workers and they've been working more. Do a little shake. So either way, we've been doing something more or less. And with the body, activity or inactivity can cause a lot of changes. So when you do your forearms, you're going to do that same grasp and you're going to turn. And if you want to move your wrist a little bit, there's an area right about here called the common extensor tendon. And if you kind of move your wrist, you're going to feel it. You might not like me right now. Some of y'all might be asking why I'm doing this to you. It's helpful. All right. And we're going to do the same for the biceps and triceps. Come up to the delts and the traps. So this area here is kind of, where a lot of people feel tension a lot of times, because we're constantly hunched doing this kind of stuff. So you're just going to grab and you can press in and make little circles. Do the same to the other arm, because we're going to get to the neck soon. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it out. Again, kind of make circles. I know a lot of y'all probably didn't even know that there's tension in these places. I'm sorry. Biceps and triceps. Another squeeze. A few little circles here. All right. Just kind of do a little stretch, roll your shoulders back. And you're going to clasp if you're able to. I understand that not everybody has the ability, so adjust. If you're not able to do some of these things, that's perfectly fine. If there's another part of your body that is hurting, that has tension, like feel free to massage that area if you're not able to. Again, this is all just suggestion, but we're going to clasp our hands behind our neck and just kind of make this motion.
Okay, I'm back because I need to do this with you. I was trying to do it. I'm like, okay, I can't keep. I gotta watch her, like really watch her do this. I was like all over the place. I'm like, good thing I'm not in camera because I was like, oh my god, no, I'm gonna fall. But go ahead.
All right, so we just clasp our hands together like that behind our neck, and then just kind of squeeze and roll around. Let your neck relax, like trust your own hands. I know that's hard for some of us to do, and this might be a lesson for some of y'all even deeper, but trust your own hands with your neck. Oh, it's serious. You don't put the hair up.
Right? It's serious.
All right, and also if you want to just, with the flat of your hands, just massage right in here. So it's the TMJ. So this, it's kind of scary looking muscle. It's okay. Like, it's a lot of people think of it as kind of like that mad muscle.
I know, right?
All right. Couple more shoulder circles. And also, I'm going to have y'all, your pecs, so like right below your collarbone. Just press and smooth it out. Other side.
So is this muscle connected to, I'm assuming it's connected to the back because sometimes when we have backaches and you go to a massage therapist, they be doing something
Yep.
here that I see Jesus, but it feels so good.
Exactly. So thank you for asking, because now we're going to get the little sock friend. So it's okay. You can do it. You can also like do it with a soft fist. Like don't try to punch yourself in the chest, but just a little, circles. But you can also use a little sock friend that we're making and just kind of roll over. Because you're exactly right. Because we do this so much, like the thing about the body is anything that's hurting is usually the opposite place, like the exact opposite place that's the real issue. So our back hurts is because we're doing this all the time. We're hunched over. Mm-hmm. So our back is actually stretched out and stuck that way. But it's because these muscles are short. Once you stretch those out, that's why I had y'all roll back. Because once you stretch that, your back can fall into place better. Hey. So also, a yoga friend of mine gave me this visual and it works out a lot better for me. And people are always saying, oh, put your shoulders back. Don't think that way, because you end up putting more tension in your back when people say that. Because, you just kind of like, it's that real military
it's almost like
because
people tell me that sometimes, and it's almost like we exaggerate with the back, that it feels like it's
like
pulling in the lower back.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, now that's worse. So when you think about leading with your chest, or like there's like a string that's pulling you from your heart. So think that way, like lifting your chest, everything falls into place. And you're not thinking shoulders back. It's like, okay, once your chest is up, things fall where they need to. So, and I definitely find myself checking myself all the time because I'm a sloucher. That's also, I'm a massage therapist because I know how to fix me. So other things that we can do with this little sock friend, because it's not just because this is the real issue, it doesn't erase the pain in the back. That's still very real pain. So this little guy or girl, this little friend here, you can just throw over your shoulder and so this could represent a bed, this could represent couch, whatever, just a firm surface. There we go. And anytime you're doing massage on yourself or anybody else, the main thing to remember is to stay away from the spine. So you can get right up next to it, but don't actually massage somebody's spine. So what I'm doing right now is just, I let the little knot of a sock go between my scapula and my spine, so between my shoulder blade and my spine. And that's just a nice soft massage. And the other one, if you have like other pain, like if it's more intense, then that's when we're going to use the can, jar, water bottle, whatever, and cloth. And there we go.
When is a good time to use, those blue balls? Those
Oh, those
big blue
lacrosse
balls?
balls?
Because I used to go to physical therapy for my back, and they used to
Oh, the
have me
big ones?
like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So those are great for like, they probably had you like go like kind of do a back arch over it, or
All kinds
also
of things.
yeah. So that's good for stabilization. So that's gonna help your core. And a strong core is exactly what it sounds like. Since it's the core, it's gonna be like the basis of anything. Again, this is what happens when you work in a gym too. Like I gleaned all my information and I dipped. Um, but it really is like the emphasis that people put on the core is not just abs. Like people think it's that. It's also like the deeper abdominal muscles. It's the muscles to the side. It's your back. So
Mhm.
everything in front of you should be just as strong as everything to the back of you, to the side of you. So yeah, people get it wrong. Things are very aesthetic, and that's why people have the issues that they do.
I know.
So some things for that, like again, the chest opening especially. So after a hot bath, shower, something like that, if you have access to those things, get in the door frame. And since your pectorals go three different directions, you're gonna either this way or arms fully extended. You're going to go high, middle, and low, or that way. And you're just gonna lean out and really open your chest. You can drop your head. You'll really feel some stretch right back in those muscles.
Mhm.
So yeah, also like when you're on the couch, when you're in your bed, you can let one leg hang off and you bend it back. There's a muscle that is actually the strongest hip flexor that's attached to your lower back. So a
Mhm.
lot of times you have issues with your lower back. It's actually that hip issue. So that's called the psoas.
So, do you recommend that people, let's say, like some of us that have all this cracking and popping before we get out of bed,
Yes. Oh, I sound
that
like
we
Rice Krispies
stretch
every
before we
day.
get out of bed in the morning?
So when you're getting up, like, yeah, definitely like you can do like hip circles. You can like bring your legs around. You can bring your legs to your chest just to kind of like, okay, legs, we got to start working, got to start
Mhm.
moving if that's something you're able to do. So like if all you can do is kind of like wiggle your toes, like roll your ankles, move your knees, like little by little, do what you can do. Like get your body going the way that you know how. Also like going to the side and stretching over your head is going to open up your ribs, which in turn opens up your back. Yep.
Okay. So we
Because like
shouldn't,
we
because
need,
I almost did this. So we should just lift our arm up, but not our whole body.
no, I'm saying like if you're laying in the bed, like if you're stretching by yourself, yeah, no problem. Like you
Oh.
can open up your ribs as far as you need to, because we need to breathe. Like again, since this pandemic that we're facing is respiratory, like open up your chest, open up
Mhm.
your ribs, open up everything that's going to support your breath.
Mhm.
Because that's all we can do. Like make sure that that's something that's healthy in you.
Mhm. Awesome. What about for the legs?
What about what?
What about the legs?
The legs?
Any stretch for
So
the legs?
yeah, so the one that I mentioned earlier about, dangling it off the bed, you can also like reach down and pull it back. So then you're gonna get the psoas, you're gonna get the quads as well. Calves, go up
I
to a
try to do that,
wall,
but it
put
kind
your
of hurt.
huh?
I said I try to do that, but it kind of hurt, and I was like, okay, abort mission.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you need to like grab like a belt, a rope, anything, any kind of
Something
little
to
thing that
hold
you
it.
can use. Exactly. You don't have to reach it with your hand. Man, I was not flexible for a very long time, so I got very creative with some of these stretches. Like, okay, I see a hoodie over there. I'm gonna tie this sleeve to the. Listen, I will make it work. I will MacGyver some fitness. Like.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to get a little more creative with what I find around the house.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, this looks like something that I can use to help me stretch. So like also anything that is like cross body. So, I don't know if anybody out there ran track, did any sports, but like when they had you hit that figure four situation, like, so yeah, like kind of crossing your legs, but not the whole way, just making that figure four on your thigh.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, and if you can lean forward with that, that's going to help with your hamstrings, because I'm feeling what I'm feeling right now. Your hamstrings, it's going to help with your low back, with your hip, and with your glutes. Glutes do a lot more work than we think. They don't just sit, they make us move, they make us run, they make us walk, they make us do all these things. So yeah, your body is is a very complex, I call it a very complex rubber band ball. But
It is very complex. Let me see. Gloria says I'm looking on my personal page. Gloria says hi. Fanny says hi. Hi, girls. Hi, late girls. I always say girls. Hi, ladies. Um,
hey,
Let me see if we have more comments here. Um,
yeah, because I
no.
can talk about this stuff all day. Like,
Yeah, we can talk about this stuff. So, are we done with the stretches?
yes, unless you have some questions. I'm like, I think that's it. Oh, child's pose is
Okay.
a really good one also. So like, in yoga, the one where it's kind of like you're balled up and fold all the way over. There we go. And folding all the way over. And if you have issues with the lats, when you fold over, like bring your fingers up like that, and you're gonna get an even deeper stretch in this area.
Ew, yeah. That's almost like they do that in yoga poses, right?
Yeah, that's child's pose.
What did I call the fetal position? I was thinking in
It
my head.
is
Oh, they call it
child's,
that too?
same thing.
I'm like, maybe I'm calling it something else.
It is.
So,
I mean,
this was really awesome. So, if people want to keep in touch with you or follow you, or hold on, I got something else. To use the can. Oh, hold on. Tavia says to use the can in the shirt. She's
yes,
asking you, is it to use the can in the shirt?
I did.
That's what you did?
Yeah, I
That's what
did
she
with the
did. But if it's something else, type it in the comments and I'll show
Okay,
it to
all
her.
right, I did.
So if people want to get in touch with you, stay in touch with you, how can they stay in touch with you?
They can message me on here. They can.
So
My
you're on
email is,
Facebook.
yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is Unique Composition. All together. I'm not trying to spell it any kind of crazy way because it's hard enough to spell.
I have it there in a
Um,
banner.
Thank you.
Unique
Um,
Composition. That's Instagram.
yes, and yeah, they can email me. I'm not the best emailer, so like your best bet may be Instagram or Facebook. But
So they can
but yeah,
send you a private message in Messenger if they wanted to reach you, or they
yes.
can go be part of your tribe in Instagram and follow you because you do a lot of demos of this video, right, on Instagram?
Yeah, I've done a neck and a, so y'all kind of got a quick little of both videos. But so far I've done neck and I've done lower and mid back and lower back. And I did, I showed how to make the sock and the low can friend. And I'm going to be doing this weekly because, I'm trying to figure out how to help heal people. And quite frankly, I'm out of work. So that's why I'm like, okay, I have my Venmo, my Cash App up because,
So I have that up
it's
here. So
hard.
guys, she did this completely free on her own beautiful time, and I totally appreciate it. So if you find it in your heart to send her a donation, she will greatly appreciate it too. I just did mine when I removed myself from the live.
Oh, thank
So
you.
go do go do your act of kindness during this quarantine.
Yeah, and come watch me Fridays, 6 o'clock Eastern time is when I try to. I had a little hiccup this week, but I tried to be on Fridays at 6 to do this for, to heal myself and other people.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by to the
Thank you
Ghost
for
Healing
having
Show.
me.
And I hope we can have you here soon. Really, really soon to show you some more techniques. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other. And I will see you here again next Tuesday. If you have not seen the post, there is a 7-day self-care challenge coming up. Check it out. It's in this page. It's also in my personal page. Check it out. Sign up. It's totally free. If you know somebody that can benefit from a self-care challenge where we're going to give you tools, techniques on how to show yourself some love during those 7 days, share the link with them. And until next time, take care of yourself. And I will see you here super, super, super soon.